So today we are going to talk about forms in which cells exist. Actually, we have four forms in which cells exist. One, they can exist as an independent or single and free living organism. Then two, they can exist as a colony. Three, they can exist as a filament. And the fourth one, number four, they can exist as part of a multicellular organism. Let's start with the first one. Let's first target this word, single. So these organisms have only one cell, single. And let's target the two others, this single, this free living organism, and independence. When we use the word, say Sierra Leone is an independent country, or a country is an independent country, that means they do everything by themselves. They rule themselves. They depend on any other country to take their own decision. They do everything by themselves. So in this case, since we are using this for independent and we are using free living organisms, that means these organisms are capable of living freely on their own. That means they do their nutrition on their own, they do their excretion on their own, they do their irritability on their own, they do their reproduction on their own. They don't depend on other organisms to come and do it for them. So example of these organisms, we have amoeba, we have Euglena, we have Paramecium. There will be a separate lesson which we can talk about amoeba, Euglena, and Paramecium in detail. The second one, as a colony. A colony is a group of individuals, many, not one, as we say, a group of what? Individuals, which are massed together to form a ball-like structure. So example of this organism we have is a volvulus. Now in here, this is one daughter cell, this is another one, this is another one. They have come together. They form this ball-like structure. When they come together, they show division of labor. Some of these cells, they become specialized. Some of them will be there for reproduction, excretion, nutrition, and some of them will be there for irritability. Some of them will be there for respiration, some for movement. They share this responsibility among themselves for them to live together as one. So this volvulus here, if you have been asked to label it, this one is the daughter cell. Either this one or this one, they can point at anyone, and it doesn't mean they have to point it here for it to be daughter cell. They can also draw the arrow from this point. This one also will be labeled as daughter cell. And this one here, you see this one going here. This one is what we call cytoplasmic strand that gives support. And we have this projection coming. This one. This is what we call the flagellum. And the flagellum is there for movements. And this organism, one thing you need to know about it, as we have talked about specialization, that some of them are being specialized to perform specific function. And the last one, they have common cytoplasm. They have common cytoplasm, that means the cytoplasm are not being divided. Let's talk about filament now. Filament is a group of individuals, that means not one, there are many, which are joined end to end to form a chain-like structure. Unlike this one where they form a ball-like structure. At the end of this video, I will ask students to state 3 differences between the two. If you want, you can post it in the comments. If you want, you can submit it to me. So example of a filament, we have spirogyra here. So this is the diagram of it, and in here we just have three filaments. Number one, which is half drawn, and this is number two, which is full complete, and this is the third one here. Now in here, the cytoplasm is being separated as we have cell wall separating this one from this one, and also we have cell wall separating filament 3 from 2. So we have cell wall separating filament 1 from 2, and we have cell wall separating filament 2 from 3. So in here they have what? Separate cytoplasm. While here they have common cytoplasm, and the other one is that in here filament 2 doesn't depend on filament 3 or 1 for any of its life processes. They are what? Independent of one another. Likewise, 1 doesn't depend on 2 or 3 for any of its life processes. It does everything on its own. So in here the cells are what? Independent, and this in here in the colony the cells are interdependent, while in here they are what? Independent. So let's talk about the various parts here and their function in some cases. So we have the nucleus here that is at the center that contains the genetic material, and we have the cell wall here. This layer, the second layer, is the cell wall. It's the same layer that we have here that is responsible for protection. And we have the first layer, which is called mucilage. Mucilage is also for protection. And this cell wall, it is freely permeable. It allows all substances to pass through. And the last membrane, which is the third one here, which is the cell membrane, it is selectively permeable. Not all substances are being allowed to pass through. Only those that are needed by the cell will enter, and those that are not needed by the cell will be allowed to come outside. So let's talk about this structure here going in a spiral form, and the name of this structure is called chloroplast. But you can also name it as spiral chloroplast, showing how the chloroplast is being arranged, because it is in a what? Spiral form, just like a spring. You see it going like this way. This is what we call spiral form, like a spring. And we have paranoid. These are dots in here in this diagram here that you can see, which is found in this chloroplast. And mind you, the chloroplast is the one responsible for photosynthesis. And this is the last part that we are going to talk about for this class here. This is the cytoplasmic strand that helps to support the nucleus at the center, and one cell as part of a multicellular organism. This one I'm going to use human, possibly myself as an example here. You can see if it is by matter of cells. You looking at me, I standing here, we are rich, because we have trillions of cells, up to over 30 trillions of cells. Just imagine that if it is being converted to money. Oh my God, I will not be standing here. You know that. So we are made up of trillions of cells. All of these cells are working collectively for us to live as one. Now, if we remove my eye, which have many cells, and place it somewhere, that eye will not be able to live as a whole organism. But if you remove one filament, that filament is working, because that filament here, number one, was not depending on two for any of its life processes, so it can continue to live on its own. But if you remove my lungs, my kidney, my heart, you place them somewhere, what will happen? They will not be able to exist as a whole organism. So that's what we talk about what cell as part of a multicellular organism. That these cells collectively they work as one, but if you take one out of it, that one will not be able to function. Example of these cells in human, we have red blood cells, we have nerve cells, we have muscle cells, we have many cells. As I said, we have over 30 trillions of cells, which I said we are rich in terms of the number of cells.